Good morning, as it's saying, welcome back to my channel. My name is ESIKOKUI and I have a new video for you. So I'm getting ready for my chapter meeting. I have a chapter meeting today, and so I wanted to do a get ready with me and also talk a little bit about what's going on in the media. Okay, so my face is dry because I'm about to do a little bit of skincare with you all. So let's just get into it. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, all that jazz. All right, let's go. Okay, so I'm putting some serum on. Okay, as always, I'm running late, so we had to speed through that skincare, and now we're about to do our makeup. How is everyone doing? It has been a week, y'all. If you've been in the media and seeing what's been going on, you've definitely seen that it's been a week for Cardi and Nicki and also the Barbs. I don't think Barty Gang is going through the things that we are. So let's get into it, because I feel like, and I am talking and I am saying this as, yes, a lot of y'all know that I am a Barb. I am. But again, I'm a smart Barb. I'm not a Delulu Barb. I am going to be not objective, because I do more research when it comes to Nicki, but I do my research when it comes to Cardi as well. So I also want to preference, I went to school for broadcast journalism. I got a degree in this, and so I don't like to report on information that isn't factual. And it may sound like I am a Delulu Barb. And I want to tell you that these are just the facts that are presented to me. And if you're upset that it sounds like I'm supporting Nicki in this, then I think that you just want her to be wrong. You want her to be the bad guy. You want, you want it to be that Nicki was in the wrong. And sometimes even in the rants and the outbursts and the things like that, she's right. Sometimes she's right, and sometimes I'm gonna tell you guys when she's wrong. I needed to fix that eyebrow. This is gonna be perfect because we're running late and we're talking, so we need to get this done. So as you guys know, Cardi dropped an album about a week ago. Okay, she dropped an album and it's called Am I the Drama? She did a lot of promo, a lot of rollout for this. She had a lot of sponsors. She had a lot going on with this album. And prior to this album, she was talking about she is going to outsell. She would get on Spaces, she would get on live, and she would say, I am going to outsell. What does outselling mean? Like, there's no bar to outsell, so when you say you're going to outsell, who is the bar? Because it is pretty easy to outsell all the other female rappers because their numbers aren't doing what Nicki's does. So when she says, I'm going to outsell, and it's not a complete sentence, because it's like, who are you going to outsell? You don't need to hit a marker like on Billboard you can hit a marker on Billboard to make it to #1. So yes, you could be outselling all the rest of the people that have dropped an album. If we're smart, who is she talking about? The bar is Nicki and Nicki's numbers. Nicki did 228K. That is her bar, 228K. Okay? So that is the bar that Cardi is talking about outselling. She started talking about this for a while.
Album, and there is the album. So you talking about no album? What? Y'all don't even want me to drop that album because y'all gonna be fucking crying, because I'ma outsell Pink Friday 2. I'ma have hits. I'm gonna be on top. That's a fact.
Hey y'all, I'ma hop in and out because sometimes I just need to add a little more context to what I'm saying. You know, I was rushing, so I was forgetting some things. But actually, I did find the video where she did talk about outselling. She was, I think, on Spaces, and she talked about it. And she didn't mention Nicki, but she did actually mention Pink Friday too, which is Nicki's last album that just came out. And so, as I'm also giving these examples, I'm mostly talking about not just recently, like this has been over the past year or so of Cardi kind of baiting Nicki. And I'll talk about it later, but you know, she doesn't really respond to her until this situation. But over the past year or so, Cardi has been saying and doing these things and baiting Nicki over and over again. I also want to add, and this may sound crazy, but I get these people's tweets to my phone. So I see it all before they delete it. Okay? So I'm not just saying what I feel. I'm saying what I've seen. Also, as she's saying things like this, she's also tweeting other things like, my kids are smart. They can count to, you know, they can count to this much. They can do this, blah, blah, blah. Which is fine. Big up your kids. That has nothing to do with Nicki. But it gives shady because then when you are in an argument, you're bringing it up. So then it goes back to the fact of like, you were saying it in a shady comment. Because when you're mad and you are arguing, you're bringing it up. Just like you said in that tweet months ago. There were also other tweets that were said about take your kid to the park. Just randomly. Take your kid to the park. Do this, do that. Other tweets that came out before any of this. And mind you, Nicki didn't respond then. And you know why you don't know about these tweets that I'm talking about? The take your kid to the park, the smart kids, all of this stuff. Because Nicki didn't call attention to it till right now. But she was tweeting like that and talking like that for months prior to the album. Nicki didn't address it. She had other people to address, like Jay-Z and other people, right? And Desiree Perez. So she wasn't really worried about Cardi because she knew that when the album comes out or later on, she'll get her time with her. Cardi says that she never forgets, and so Nicki also does not forget. Oh my gosh, my eyebrows are not matching. Yeah, we are. It's 7:55, y'all. I have to be done by 8:30. Can we do this? Can we do this? So moving on to the album came out, and Cardi first was trying to say that it outsold and that it was the number one. It's the first album to hit however many units, right? She was trying to say it's a number one album. It's a number one album, but it did not outsell Nicki. And at first, that's what she was promoting, that it outsold Nicki. And it didn't. That is what brought Nicki out of her little bubble. Because she was quiet. She was quiet. She let the week pass by. Oh, no, it wasn't last week. It's been 2 weeks since the albums came out. So she let the first week happen. Not let the first week happen, but kind of, yeah. She let the first week happen and didn't say anything, wasn't tweeting us, nothing, right? And she gave her time. I feel like that was so respectful. Because everybody says once, you know, Cardi does or drops something, Nicki is always out. You know, she's always like tweeting something else or like trying to distract. And that could definitely be a case, right? But she gave her the week and didn't say anything. And then until the numbers came back, because the numbers, they don't come back until a week later. When she was like, oh, I'm the first female rapper to sell this many, blah, blah, blah. And I'm number one, blah, blah, blah. And that came back that it wasn't true. Have you seen any more tweets like that? Because it's not true, right? Okay. So once the reports came back that that wasn't true and she stopped promoting that, that's when Nicki came out and decided to say something. And at first it wasn't even towards Cardi. She started promoting her album that is going to come out on March 27th, 2026. That gives also a great amount of time for rollout because artists don't really roll out. And that's why I really appreciated Cardi's whole rollout, because it was very reminiscent of the times back in the day, like of having legit rollouts. Like, this is how you make sustainable music that stays around, is when you have a legit rollout. We don't just drop music. We're not all Beyonce, you guys. Like, I just don't know why we moved into that. That's a whole nother story. But you guys are not Beyonce. Stop doing that. Like, it does not work for most people. Stop just dropping an album and not giving any promo, or saying in 2 days my album drops. No promo. Like, what are we supposed to do with that? That's crazy to me. But back to what is going on. At first, Nicki was promoting the album, and that was it. Started doing tweets, and of course, there's subtweets. And she started saying that, at first, she started saying, like, you know, careful about the music that you are listening to, which is so true. In general, you know, it can invoke different spirits of drama in your life. The album's called Am I the Drama? And it is true about different types of music bringing, you know, different energy. But obviously that quote was petty, as Miss Petty does, because about drama, she's obviously talking about Cardi's album, invoking drama and negative feelings. So after that, that's when that started. And honestly, before I go into the rest of it, I feel like if Cardi wasn't talking about outselling Nicki and then she didn't hit the bar, I don't think that this would have happened, right? If she just was like, I'm promoting my album, this is the album, this is my sophomore album, this is, you know, it, and if it, whatever it does, I'm happy with, or whatever, you know, I don't think it would have brought Nicki out. But when you are comparing yourself, and that's the problem, is like, I don't like, in the sense of the beef, is I think Cardi likes to throw her hands and hide it. And because people don't pay attention, Nicki's tweets or anything like that, she's able to play into the victim role, right? Because you're only getting one side. And another part of it, Cardi is very likable right now. No matter what she does, people are still going to like her, they're still gonna fuck with her, all of this stuff. Should I get into this now? I guess I can a little bit, but she has been crashing out on Twitter, like, weekly. At least this past year, she has been coming for anybody and anyone. Her fans, her own fans, you guys. Her own fans, of course, Barb's in her comments, and other people. The thing is, nobody, like, they see it and they're like, oh, Cardi's going again. But it's not something that stops people from liking her. When Nicki goes in on somebody, then it's, she's bitter. She's this, she's that. So just want to point the two comparisons. I want to put those two out there because it is. I know the feeling. The feeling is like, she's out again, doctor. A lot of people have been saying that, right? She's going in again on somebody. But Cardi goes in on people just as much, if not more. It's just when Nicki does it, it's on a greater scale, and I get it because of who she is. But I feel like you guys also try and put Cardi there, so why can't you hold her to the same standards?
And when I say put Cardi there, I mean, like, you guys
say that she is a great female rapper or that she is iconic and all of that stuff. So if she is this person that you all feel or that people feel is of icon status or is such a great rapper, or you just feel like it's someone that you should look up to, why is it that we excuse when she's upset at Offset? I mean, he's a man, so I don't care. But like when she's upset at Offset and telling him like, I hope you die, like you need to die. Literally, while this was all happening, a video came out or a recording came out of her like crashing out, going off about Ice Spice, like yelling at the top of her lungs about Ice Spice. There's that. There are other things where she's on Spaces going off on her fans, on Nicki's fans, on anybody that has something bad to say. She was literally driving around New York trying to find, I don't remember at this moment what female rapper it was, but another female rapper. She was driving around New York trying to find out where they were so she could fight them. So I'm just like, can we keep the same energy if we're going to be upset with Nicki? Like, can we also keep the same energy if we're regarding Cardi, or if people are regarding Cardi as an iconic celebrity? So yeah, this is where the back and forth started, and Cardi was saying that Nicki is obsessed with like, why are you talking about my album? Like, go do your own thing. Your peers are, who did she say? Taylor Swift, Rihanna, Drake, and who else? I think it was those people, those three. Why are you worried about me? This is what I'm talking about, of like throwing your throwing your hands. Is it throwing your hands? Yeah, this is what I'm talking about when I say she throws stones. Whatever, this is what I mean when I say she throws stones. I believe the saying is. Nicki's peers are not Rihanna or Taylor Swift, who debuted 4 to 5 years before Nicki came out. Rihanna came out in 2004, 2005. Taylor Swift debuted in 2006. Nicki debuted in 2010. Those aren't her peers. Also, they're in different genres. Genres are a funny little concept. But back then, they weren't. Okay? Everyone stuck to their genre. And so to compare 3 people, Drake also, okay, yeah, that's fine. Drake debuted around the same time, so he is her peer, but they were in the same label. So, yeah, no. Anyway, it didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense. And she's saying that why are you comparing yourself to my album or to me? Those are your peers. But you were comparing yourself to Nicki prior. And now it's, those are your peers. But again, she knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing because people aren't going to pay attention to what she was saying, how she has been trying and comparing herself to Nicki this whole time that she's been out. So she knows what she's doing. It's very strategic. And that's fine because Nicki clocked it. And that's why this whole thing started. So then they go back and forth. Then the kids started being brought into the situation. And I will say this now. I do not condone bringing up kids. I don't like it. We should leave the kids out of it. They're so innocent. They have nothing to do with adults beefing at all. And especially something that could be considered so trivial, right? But then the kids started being brought up. Nicki did bring up to the fact that she's like, you've been comparing yourself to me. You've been bringing up my kid. You've been bringing up my husband. You've been bringing up all of these things. And then she's like, what do you mean comparing? Is it because I'm bringing up my kid and how smart he is? And then those tweets from back in the day make sense to today. Like, my kid can do this and he is smart and she is smart and can do that, can do this. Your kid is slow and autistic. And it's never okay to use someone's condition or disability as an insult and as a way to argue. And Nicki has never confirmed that Papa Bear has any type of condition. So to put that on a child and you have no idea, I don't care if you've heard tea in the streets or whatever, it has not been confirmed, and that is not okay to talk about a child like that. And you're using it as an insult. An insult. Like, the people that do have autism and people that may have conditions, you're using it as an insult, and that is not okay. That is not okay to use that as an insult. And that offends your other fans. That offends other people that support you, that may have children that deal with these things. So that wasn't okay. And also, mind you, it was Papa Bear's birthday. And so she's like, you need to go and focus on him and read him a book. If we remember, if we go back, I don't remember which kid's birthday it was. She got a lot. It was one of her other kids' birthday. And she was going back and forth with a fan on Twitter for hours on one of her kids' birthdays. And she even talked about it. I just watched the interview because I do my research. I just watched the interview on Angie Martinez, and she was like, I let that person ruin my day, my kid's day for me. So don't sit here and now be like, oh, go and read him a book, go cut his cake. You're focused on me and all of this stuff. You were focused as well on other people, on your child's birthday. Though, yes, she should focus on, Papa Bear and on his birthday and all the things that, it's going on with your child. It's your child's birthday. You shouldn't be arguing with anybody all day. And she did tweet and say that the cake's been cut. He's, I've celebrated my child's birthday. And so, I don't know. But also, she is a working mom, and this is her workplace. So if she needs to go in her workplace and defend herself, then that is what she's doing, right? Her work is not a 9 to 5. It's a 24-hour clock in when you need to and clock out when you need to, okay? So, yeah, that is where that started. Then Nicki started going into it about culture, about Cardi's child culture. And it was a lot of not great things. It was a lot of not great things. In the things that she was saying, she called culture culture vulture, called her monkeys and roaches, culture's gums and kicking back culture's gums. She just kept going in and saying a lot of culture is a monkey, roach, all of those things. Crazy, right? And it sounds crazy, and it's not okay that she used the child to say it. And I understand the point, which I'm going to bring up the point. And again, like I said, it is not okay that she said these things. And I am not just saying this because this is my conspiracy. Nicki also tweeted and said why she was doing it the next day. And yeah, we'll get into the apologies and stuff later. But she also confirmed that this is the reason why she was doing it, is because these are the same words that Cardi used towards Black women, not once, not twice, but multiple times. There are so many tweets, and I can put them on the screen right now, of her calling and degrading Black women, telling them their kids should die, they're roaches, they're monkeys, all of these things. These were things that she was saying in the beginning of her career. And nobody called it to attention and let her get away with all of these things. Mind you, it was before cancel culture and all of that stuff before, but it shouldn't have been said. It shouldn't have been said. And it gives the true, I don't know, it gives the rhetoric that these are your true feelings towards the Black woman that support your music, that want to support you, that you are around. It gives the feeling that this is how you truly feel about us. Now she claims that she is Black, but in past tweets, it was all, I'm Dominican, I'm a Latina woman, which is fine. But now it's, I'm Black and I can say nigga. You can't pick and choose when you want to be a nigga, okay? But again, back to those comments. Those are the comments that Cardi was saying back and forth to Black women. And Nicki brought those same words up because no one paid attention back then. And the only way that, and the thing is, Nicki has called attention to this before. But again, no one cared because it's Nicki Minaj saying it, right? And so she knew that the way that it was going to cause the hoopla that it did was to do it in the way that she did. Again, not right. Shouldn't have brought the kids. I don't know how else she could have brought this up without trying to cause the hoopla that it did, but without bringing the kids. I don't know how else. But it shouldn't have happened that way. I feel like she could have thought about that a little bit more. She did it as a way to bring attention to what Cardi would do. And how we've let Cardi like get away with these things, not hold her accountable for it. So I just wanted to give background to it because I feel like a lot of people just saw Nicki saying these words and like, oh my gosh, why would she say this? Why would she do this? Why would she bring up kids? Why would she do that? And not feeling like it compares to how Nicki or how Cardi brought up Papa Bear and called him all these different things about a condition that we don't know if he has. So yeah, that is kind of where we are. Then the next day, Nicki issued an apology to Culture and was like, I'm sorry for what I said. It is not in my nature to do this. I did it for a bigger purpose. But again, I hope that your mom and your aunt and, are brought to their knees one day. Yeah. For what they've done. And then Cardi did her own apology. But in the apology, it sounds like I'm going back and forth, but I see, I don't know. People are like, well, yeah, if you brought up my child in the way that you did, I'm going to give you a petty apology back. But again, if we brought up kids and we shouldn't be bringing up kids, and then we're apologizing to said kids, I think that we should kind of put like the pettiness when it comes to the kid away. Like you could still be petty with who you're fighting with, but you're still being petty to the kid. So she said, "Dear Papa Perk," instead of Papa Bear, which is the name that we call him because Nicki still hasn't given out his name. Which I also want to say, if we still don't know Papa Bear's name after 5 years, how is Cardi getting so-called tea on Nicki Minaj? I'm just saying, where are you getting this tea? Because if you don't even know what the baby's name is, how do you know that? And we'll get into all the other tweets that Cardi said about Nicki being schizophrenic and all of this stuff and on drugs. But yeah, so So she said, "Dear Papa Perk, I hope you don't go into," I'm paraphrasing, but go into the, and I'll put it on the board of what she actually said, "Go into the pedophilia that you inherited from your father, your grandfather, and uncle." And I'm like, this is not a real apology. And to say that a child inherited pedophilia is crazy. Do we see what's wrong? Do we see what's wrong? And I felt like it was just more so a petty response. Like, if we're gonna beef, we're gonna beef. But you brought up kids first, so I feel like she should I feel like she should have done a genuine apology as well. Let me get my clothes and change. Okay, y'all. So it is like 8:30. I need to be there by 8:45. I usually leave at 8:30, but I am not done. So I think I'm gonna talk to y'all. Well, am I about to curl this hair? See, got work to do over here talking about other people. Well, we need to clock in, okay? Okay, so I'll talk for 4 minutes and then the rest will continue in the car and hopefully I'll be done. But, oh yeah, about Papa Bear. Yeah, so I don't know. It just didn't seem like, I mean, it obviously wasn't a genuine apology, and I do feel like Nicki's was genuine. People could feel like it wasn't either, as well. So I totally hear that, but I do feel like she said, "This is not in my character to do it. It was a part of a bigger plan." I feel like it was a part of the bigger plan. It's not, like I said, it's not right, but that is how she chose to do it. I think that Cardi, the things that she brought up was just to go to the jugular. If we go back to the whole reason why the beef started, was because Cardi saw an AI tweet and thought that Nicki was over there liking pictures or liking tweets about Cardi's child. I don't remember what the tweet said. Maybe I can find them and put them here. But that's what she thought that Nicki was doing, talking about her child. That's when she tried to fight her at that gala. Okay. And I feel like Cardi's always been in, let me fight without having a conversation. Let me do things without the consequences, like of thinking about the consequences. And this has been a continuous thing throughout her career, and not just when it comes to Nicki. So back to the tweets. In a lot of them, Cardi was saying that Nicki is schizophrenic, and that, what is it called? That she's schizophrenic, and that she's on cocaine, and she's on drugs and all of these things. Again, I do not know this for a fact. I don't like the whole conversation of when Nicki is going and supporting herself and talking about things that are happening, what is it called, in her industry, that now she's on coke. Now she's pulling a Kanye. Now it's all of this. And again, this is her workplace. It is true that people, systems, machines have gone against her, tried to take her down. People have come out and said multiple times that they were paid by radio companies, by labels to diss Nicki in their music, to talk bad about Nicki. They weren't playing her on the radio for years because they blackballed her, because they wanted other people to come up. And you know who the other person was? And you know, people have to pay for that to happen. Who is paying for Cardi to come up? Who is paying for these people to stop listening to Nicki? Powerful people is all I'm going to say. So I think that it's not okay to like talk about, someone someone being on drugs because they're speaking up for things that other people are choosing not to speak about. People see this in the industry all the time. People know what's going on, but they just choose not to speak up because they don't want the backlash. They don't want to be labeled in the ways that Nicki is being labeled. And she has literally said, y'all have already painted me as the bad guy. I really don't care anymore. So I will fight for the stuff. And a lot of the things that she fights for comes true. Years later, months later, it comes true. And then people want to be like, oh yeah, but not put it on, it's Nicki who told us first. A lot of times. She has fought for a lot of these artists' rights. But that's never put on Front Street. Yeah, that's just kind of where we are. I don't like the whole conversation of saying that she is on drugs and that she's schizophrenic. Yeah. And if she is, and Cardi does have her tea, whatever, that is still a bad, you should not be bringing up people's conditions and using it as an insult and shaming them, because there are real people that are dealing with this. There's nothing to be ashamed of when you have a condition. And if she chooses not to bring that up to us, then that is her right. That is her right. To also say that Nicki is bitter and that she tries to fight with all these people, like she is a problem, I feel it. I understand. I understand. It's like she fights with a lot of people. And also, just because I don't feel like she would just fight with people if there wasn't a reason. Everybody has a reason, right? So why are Nicki's reasons any less important than somebody else? There have been people that have gone onto multiple situations, interviews, worked with her, that have said that they were pleasantly surprised because of the rhetoric that is about Nicki. The people were expecting her to be mean and tough and all this stuff, but she wasn't. And they were like, it was great working with her. I don't know what everybody else is talking about. So many people have said that. Just like so many people have gotten into it with her, but so many other people have said that she is not the person that everybody thinks that she is. So I just want y'all, and I wanted to bring up this situation to just show facts, and maybe more so facts with Nicki, because I feel like there's a rhetoric that's out there that the media tries to spin. I saw one day one of those big YouTubers, Mecca respond to a tweet that had to do with Nicki and say, I wonder one day when Tasha Cobbs is going to address this, because it was some tweet saying that I got my army behind me. I got JT, I got Tasha Cobbs, I got all these stuff. And she was responding to that. That's an AI tweet as well. People run with this rhetoric and they just want it to be that Nicki is against everyone. She has this army of people that are behind her, that just follow her, all this stuff. And I think that people don't care to do the facts. Or care to listen to the facts. They just want to listen to what the media says, what the headlines say. And that's not fair. If you want to have an argument, and if you want to have an argument when it comes to me and to the other barbs, I think that you should come with facts, because we come with facts. You guys don't come with facts, you come with feelings. So that is all I want to say. I'm ready for my chapter meeting. I am so late. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to close out the video. This is my outfit. Let me see. I'll get another video of my whole thing after. But this is my outfit for the day. All pink because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. No one said that I had to. I'm just choosing to. Anyway, I just wanted to close the video. I also, Cardi did say, or Nicki did say things towards Cardi as well, which I'll put here. And they were going back and forth. It wasn't okay with the things that they were calling each other. the reason why I made this video was to just give a different side that I feel like the media and people, the headlines aren't showing, that people aren't paying attention to. And not saying that Nicki is completely right in the way that she goes about things or the things that she says, but also Cardi's not completely right in the things that she goes about and says, and I don't think that we hold her to that standard that she should be held at. Okay, so that is that. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and if you made it to the end of this video, please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, all that jazz. Let's talk about it more in the comment section. Okay, all right, y'all, see you later.